Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Chana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Chana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Apata Satta Shata Shri Srimad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON founder BBT, founder Acharya, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Vishnupada Paramahamsa Pavikacharya Asatata Satta Shri Srimad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Sakho Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Asari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kun Radha Kuna Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Mayapur Dham Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Ganga Maya Ki Jai. Yamuna Maya Ki Jai. Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Woda Pamanande, Hari Hari Bo. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the lotus feet of Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. Now, devotees, welcome to the Bhagavad Gita class. And we are in the beginning of chapter 13, and tonight we'll be discussing verse 4. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Tat Secham Yakcha Yajikcha Yad Vikari Yatascha Yad Sachayo Yapabhavascha Tat Samsena Me Shrenu Tat Secham Yakcha Yajikcha Yavikari Yataschayat Sachayo Yapavavascha Tat Samasena Me Shrinu Tat Setram Yakta Yadrikcha Yavikari Yataschayat Satayo Yapavavascha Tat Samsena Me Shrinu. Devotees. Navascha Tat Samasena Me Shrinu. Tat Setram Yacha Yajikcha Yavikari Yatasayad Vascha Tat Setram Yacha Yajikcha Tat Samasena, you know. Tat Setram Yakta Yajik Yavikaya Yatasayat Satayo Yapavavascha. Word for word, tat, that. Setram, field of activities. Yad, what? Cha, also. Yadrik, as it is. Cha, also. Yad, having what? Vikari, changes. Yataha, from which? Cha, also. Yat, what? Sa, he. Cha, also. Ya, who? Yat, having what? Pravaha, influence, chai, ta, also, tat, that, samasena, in summary, me, from me, Shrinu, understand. Translation and purpose by His very divine grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Now, please hear my brief description of this field of activity and how it is constituted, what its changes are, whence it is produced, who that knower of the field of activities is, and what his influences are. Please repeat. Now please hear my brief description of this field of activity and how it is constituted, what its changes are, whence it is produced, who the knower of the field of activities is, and what his influences are. Om Gena Tamaranda Shah Gana Gana Salakaya Taksumali Tamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Saitanya Manobhistam Stapi Tamena Bhutale Swarupa Paramayam Dadati Swapadanti Kam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Parakamalam Shri Gurum Vaisavamscha Shri Rupam Sagujatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Stam Sajivam Savadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Saitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Paran Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakampatamscha E Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Konchana Gorangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishwavano Sutadevi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kapya Sarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubi Evata Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So this chapter 13 is entitled Nature, the Enjoyer, and Consciousness. So this section of the Gita, this is the third section. The first section is Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga. That's chapters 1 through 6. That's the first part of the Gita. And then part 2 is entitled Bhakti Yoga, and that's chapter 7 through 12. So this is the third section, and Krishna is describing Gyan mixed with Bhakti. But he's indirectly showing Kevala Bhakti, and Kevala Bhakti is that Bhakti that's not mixed with Gyan or Karma Yoga. And so he's showing Kevala Bhakti to be supreme. So in the beginning, Arjuna is asking 6 questions. And the questions are, you tell me, what are the 6 questions? What are the 6 questions that Arjuna is asking? Arjuna is representing us. We're the living entities, because Arjuna we know is a pure devotee. But Krishna is instructing him, which is instructing all of the living entities, in the human bodies, instructing us, to understand this whole process. So Does anybody know what the 6 questions are? Nobody? Okay. The 6 questions that he's asking are, what is Prakriti? And Prakriti is material nature. He's asking about the Purusha, the enjoyer. He's asking about Satram, the field. This is the field of activities. That's what he's talking about, the field. And then Setra Gyan, the knower of the field. He's asking about Jnanam, which is knowledge. And then the last thing he's inquiring about is Geyam, which is who's the object of knowledge. So in this 13th chapter, Krishna is giving an analytical knowledge of the body, the jiva, the Paramatma, and Prakriti. So briefly, in the previous verse, Krishna describes the body as the kshetra or field of activity. Setra Gyan is the soul or the knower of the body. The second Setra Gyan is Krishna as the knower of the field. So there are 2 knowers of the field in the body. One is the soul, the jiva soul, the living entity, and the other one is Krishna, who's in every single living entity's body. So Krishna comes with us in our journey through this material world and through the wheel of samsara, birth and death. Krishna is always there with us. So we can ask the questions like, okay, so the differences in the living entities. Why is one born in a rich family, or why is someone born as a hog, or born as a demigod, or a snake? Why is one born as a tree? So how many species of life are there in the material world? Every devotee should know that one. How many? Huh? 8,400 million. So to break it down, I was listening to Srila Prabhupada give a lecture. So there's 900,000 aquatic living entities. There's 1 million birds. There's 2 million types of trees. There's 1.1 million insects. And there's 400,000, I missed the animal bodies, there's 3 million animal bodies. And then there's 400,000 human bodies. So how are all these bodies working, and why are there so many different bodies? I remember when I was young, we used to watch a program by, I don't know if anybody here has heard of, but his name was Jacques Cousteau. He was a French explorer. He would explore the oceans. He would go down in the depths of the ocean. He was a diver. And he would go down to the depths of the ocean and discover so many strange-looking aquatics down the bottom. And it was so dark down there, they had to take a light down there. And I would always wonder what type of body a person takes to be down, all the way down in the bottom of the ocean, to be down in the bottom of the ocean. There's no light down there. Not only are you in the bottom of the ocean, But it's very, very dark down there. And you see so many strange types. I don't know if anybody else has wondered, but sometimes I wonder when I see, like a certain type of animal body or something, what was the person's karma and desires to give them a certain type of body? So why are there so many different forms or varieties of living entities? The material nature, she's manufactured so many different types of bodies, and no two bodies are equal in every respect. Even amongst devotees, you see devotees are so individual. Each devotee has such a different personality. When we're interacting with devotees, we can see that devotees are totally different personalities. Nobody's alike, everybody's different. So all the living entities are not of the same quality, and because they're in touch with the three modes of material nature, in different combinations of the modes of material nature. So, and we ourselves have created these bodies. We had certain desires, and so because of those desires, we come back in a certain kind of body. And so we are mistakenly identifying ourselves as this body. We think of ourselves as a man or a woman, as black or white, as Asian or Russian or Indian or this or that. We've compartmentalized ourselves into different types of bodies. And that's what we identify with all the time. But we all know that we're not the bodies. And in fact, we are all Prakriti, all of us. We are not the enjoyers. We are to be enjoyed by Krishna. We are to give pleasure to Krishna. So the living entities, they enter different types of bodies according to their desires and karma. I heard a lecture recently by Srila Prabhupada, and he called these desires, which bring the living entity back again and again into this cycle. If you've ever seen, I don't know if you know what a Ferris wheel is. You go to a fair, and there's this huge machine. It's a huge machine that has seats in it. And if you've never been to a fair, in the U.S. we have fairs all the time. You sit in the seat and you just go up. People just want to have some kind of thrill. So now the machines that you go on in the fair are different types of machines. So the living entity gets some kind of thrill out of it. I don't know what that is, but I went one time and it just gave me a headache. But you go up and sometimes they stop the wheel. It's a huge machine, and you sit in the chair and it goes around, and you keep going around and around and around. So this is the living entity. We're going around and around and around and around and around, up and down, up and down. One time we come, we're a king. One time we come, we're a dog. Sometimes we come back, we're a cat. We just come back, keep coming back in this repetition of birth and death. So Prabhupada said, he called these desires which bring the living entity again and again into the material world as varieties of insanity. He said the brain is not in order. We're deranged. Deranged means we're